are live. Welcome into the Flippin Hippos channel, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have I would say, very special guest, but he's been here before, so it's not that exciting. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not special and I'm not exciting. I just kind of hang out. I'm like one of those couch surfers, just wherever someone will let me hang out.
Well, you're exciting to some people, but Casey is part of my daily life now.
Good Lord, how did it get to this?
I don't know. We're on the phone every day.
I know. What's up, everybody? I'm saying hi to everyone now.
Katie and Vicky are both watching. That's awesome.
Trouble and bigger trouble.
Thank you for watching. We'll call out some people. I see Colleen is here. The family flips. Cato Creek Treaters, which is Trey.
Justin
was here. Lance was here in the beginning. Saw Tammy.
And Trey. Mr. Trey. Lots of our regulars. So thank you all for always being here. We appreciate it.
Yep. I see a lot of new people too. That's cool. And a ton of regulars. Barbershop Mama, Heather's Nazaray, Julie McBride, who's in Florida. So she must be warm too.
80 degrees.
Actually, it was warm for us today. It was 46, which feels hot here this time of year. I had to take my coat off. So, all right, guys, I'm just going to jump right into it. We got 26 people here. We're somebody's favorite peoples. That's cool. We'll just jump into it. If you miss anything, you guys can always watch the replay. So tonight we're going to talk about BOLO brands for reselling, and then we're going to jump into social media and the importance of social media for reselling and your brand. The thing with finding what brands are good, there's 3 ways that you can learn. And I think, Casey, you probably learned the same way Keith and I did, right?
Yeah.
Right. So Keith and I are self-taught. Before we started reselling, we didn't know anything about fashion. We didn't know anything about brands. We wear t-shirts and jeans. We don't know anything. But we were lucky enough that we had 99-cent days near us. So we would just go and spend $100 to $300 every weekend and come home with 100 to 300 items. And we would discover what was good, what was bread and butter, and then what was like never buy again. And that's basically your 3 levels of reselling. You've got your extremely amazing, awesome, high selling. Your middle, I gotta change that. Your middle ground, bread and butters, and then your, oh my God, never buy that again. And I mean, we did pretty well for ourselves. We didn't really end up with a lot of crap. But we spent a lot of money and a lot of time learning that way. And the other way you can learn is just time and not spending money. So you could spend time watching all the YouTube videos from all the resellers out there. You can do the research yourself on the back end of eBay, looking at solds. You can go into all the Facebook groups and talk to people. You can look at other people's stores and see what's selling. But that takes a lot of time as well, which time is money. So the third way that you can learn is to pay a one-time small fee for somebody else to hand you all the good brands. Somebody else who's already done the legwork and learned the hard way via time and money. You can pay like a one-time fee, get a whole list of brands, and start shopping and already be ahead of the game and not have to worry about bringing home crap or spending a lot of time. So that being said, I'm going to let Casey tell you about his BOLO list.
Okay, so a couple of really good points that I want to put on there. To give you an example, if you search eBay for just the word men's shirt or women's shirt, there are 19,580,000 listings of each, meaning there are almost 40 million just shirts, non-children's shirts on eBay. Imagine if you researched all those brands and styles and all that. It's a lot of work to research on your own. Everything is free. Listen, you can go on YouTube and learn how to be a doctor on YouTube almost. There's like live surgery videos. So yes, you can get anything for free, but it takes a whole bunch of time to research hundreds and hundreds and thousands of things, whether it's clothing or even iPods. There's like 140 different models and combinations of iPods. I mean, you could spend hours learning every iPod. So whatever it is that you're trying to learn on eBay or reselling, you can spend endless days, weeks, and hours. And let me tell you how I know, because I did it. Because when I started YouTube, there was no such thing as like resellers even talking about things. It was barely even resellers at all. So I spent probably the better part of 2 years doing that. The other way is like Star said, and this is how I learned. I used to buy and sell after I was out of kind of the cell phone electronic market, storage units and auctions. I bought everything, whatever was in there. So I kind of learned being forced to learn by spending money on stuff and then trying to figure out what I had. So that gets expensive. Trust me, I bought a lot of bad things. I have lost a lot of money on a lot of items way back in the day. Now it is really rare that I lose money on things because I've bought and sold so much stuff that I know what sells, what doesn't, not just brands and models, but like certain patterns or certain, things like I bought the other day with like the giant Chewbacca riding a unicorn. It's like Bigfoot riding a unicorn. That seems so silly to some people, but that's like a home run shirt. Somebody's going to die for that shirt. So there's always a lot of ways to learn. And if you want to spend the time and money, knock yourself out. Otherwise, there's a lot of a good information that can be put down in writing and save you hours and hours and hundreds of dollars. I did that. I put together over the course of probably the last 6 months, I put together several clothing and shoe list of bolos, which were in separate couple different files. And then I put together one that was like electronics and hard goods. And then I put together some mini ones that were like some more rare, unique, harder to find. Most of the electronics and clothing that are on these lists are going to be really common. We're talking about, Tommy Bahama. We're talking about Lily Pulitzer, stuff that you might not see every day, but you're going to see fairly regularly. In the electronics, you're going to see video games. You're going to see toys, games, like board games. You're going to see iPods, Apple products, tablets, small electronics like ring cameras, webcams, microphones, stuff you'll see on a regular basis, GoPros. The smaller list are more rare things like fire gear, like fire helmets, firemen helmets, and badges and patches. Those things you don't see as often, but if you do, they're home runs and you should grab them all the time. So that's kind of a little sample of what's on there. There's a total of over 500 items in the bundle that Star has, I believe, linked.
Yeah, it's actually down below. And I picked out Casey's bundle that is only $25, and it has 8 sourcing guides and the 3 mini ones he talked about. There's also I want to call it an essay. It's not an essay. There's a guide on how to crush estate sales. And Casey learned a lot of what he knows about estate sales from Trey. So that's good information.
Right.
And you've got some social media guides in there as well. So you're getting all of that.
Right. Yeah. So it's 8 total. It's 5 straight bolos. It's a Poshmark guide that our friend Sydney put together with some of the stuff she sells on Posh. And then the social media for beginners is kind of like the importance of, selling these items once you have them. Also, how to use social media to try to source some of those items. And then, of course, the king of estate sales, Trey, contributed to that as well. Estate sales are a great place to find a ton of these items, sometimes cheaper. Trey was in the chat. I don't know if he still is, but he wasn't here for a minute. So
yeah, Caddo Creek Traders. Absolutely amazing. He was on Casey's show once. Yeah. He knows his stuff around an estate.
Oh yeah, I got to go to like 6 estate sales with him in Dallas, and it was incredible to see him walk through estate sales. And it was incredible to see. I'm not a big fan of like a lot of like the vintage and old people stuff, but man, there was so much other cool stuff inside of there.
Yeah,
he said he's king of the world.
One trick I will give out for free that I'm actually stealing, so I'll give him credit. You guys know Dominic from Primetime Treasure Hunters? Yeah. He always tells people to go to the basement because you're going to find your good stuff in the basement. So the estate sale is included in there. And I should also add, most of what Casey and I learned about Poshmark, we learned from Sydney, and she's pretty much the queen of Posh. So
I just dropped her at the airport just a couple hours ago. So
yeah, Sydney knows, I have the pleasure of being like personal friends with her. So I've been able to pick her brain and talk to her a lot. But I have to say, if it wasn't for her, I would have quit Poshmark.
Yeah, I learned quite a bit of things that I didn't even know when I first started. I've only been on Posh a year, not even coming up on a year. It was like March or April. And I just watched and learned from, it's always, I learned, people always ask like, do I pay for stuff? Do I learn? Yes, I have paid many, many people for things, and I learn quicker just being, I like to interact with people that know what they're doing. If I have to go out and learn it on my own, my 2 biggest problems with that is 1, I don't have the time to do that. And 2, I don't always know if I'm learning on my own, if I'm actually learning it correctly. Like I could be listening to someone that has no idea what they're doing. Like,
yeah, you could find someone on YouTube and they could sound like they know what they're talking about. And you could start to follow their business model and follow their advice and find out you're doing everything wrong. Whereas if you buy things from a trusted reseller like myself or Casey or Sydney, then you know you're getting your money's worth and you know you're getting valuable information. I will say this, a free plug for you, Casey. Keith and I are in his VIP group, so we have access to all of these guides as part of being in the VIP group. And even after having been sourcing for 2 years and spending all that money and learning on our own, we still found these guides valuable because there were still brands on there we'd never heard of.
Yep.
And also they're PDFs. You guys, you can put them on your phone. How many times have you been in a thrift store or the Goodwill and you're trying to comp something and you're standing there for 15 minutes? I just did it today. It makes me so angry. I feel like every thrift store is throttling your cell phone, but I feel like they have those jammers in there because you can step right outside the door and your phone works again.
There is no question about it. One of our biggest Salvation Armies. Literally, when you walk in the door, I did it. I'm going to film this on film for a YouTube video. Walk in and you're like 5 stars. You reach your phone in the door and it just gone.
Yep.
It's like, ugh.
I was trying so hard to comp something today and I just gave up and bought it because it was 99 cents. I'm like, you know what? But
well, that's what's good about the bolos. If no one saw, it does have Target buy prices and sell prices on it. So obviously everything is different and it can change. You could sell a pair of silver jeans for $40. You could sell them for 80. So I kind of came up with a good average and I kind of put notes about which ones sell at the high end and low end. Obviously you still need to comp everything that you buy, but it gives you a pretty good idea. So if you walk into a store and you saw silver jeans for $1 or $2, you would know, well, at worst case, I'm going to get at least 30 or 40 out of them. So I'm going to buy them. And then later on, you could find out they're 70 or 80, but it's good targeted average prices. So that's another thing that I put on it.
Yeah, he's got the prices on there. So if you're in the Goodwill or the Salvation Army and you're not getting service and you have the guide saved to your phone, you can pull them up on your phone and you can see his recommended. Don't pay more than, I'll use silver jeans as an example. I pay $7. That's the most I'll pay. And I pay it all the time. Yeah. But you'll have that guide there. And then I wanted to say, Tammy had a good point over here in the comments. She said, even if you're a veteran seller or no matter how long you've been doing this, you can always learn something new.
Right, yeah.
That's true. I learned from these lists. And, you know, you guys are familiar with Megan Winnie. She's super awesome. She's really good at jeans. But sometimes in conversations I'm having with her, when I bring up a brand, she looks at me. Yeah, well, we FaceTime. Or we're typing, whatever. But she gets surprised. She's like, what? Are you kidding me? And I'm like, no, those brands do really well for me. And then she'll pick it up next time she's in the thrift. And then she tells me, well, they sold. So thank you for that. And I would honestly say that Megan is more knowledgeable about blue jeans than me. But even I have found brands that she didn't know about.
Right. I'll tell you what, this is a good segment kind of overlay transition into it. A lot of my BOLO lists and a lot of the things that I've learned have come from other sellers. It's no secret. I look through tons of stores. I do store reviews for people and I stalk stores. There's a lot of good sellers. They're big sellers. Some of them are unknown. Some of them are smaller sellers that just sell a little bit, but they constantly have these unique, rare, different things that I don't see every day. And I stalk their stores because when I find something, you know, like there's this one seller who was selling way back in the day. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're kind of gothic type pants. They're called Trip New York City. Mm-hmm. So I had no clue what those were. And literally the next week I found 2 pair of them. I sold them for 40 and 44, bought them both for like $250. And I found them in their store because they sell such unique stuff. They always sell that kind of gothic grunge type thing. I kept stalking their store. I'm not going to say who it is because she's super private, but, I stalked her store and I kept finding those brands and I was like, look at this. I need it. And I wrote it down. And that brand actually appears on one of the lists, Trip New York City, NYC.
I bet I know who it is. I won't say either.
You do know who it is. But
yeah, because he gave me that BOLO.
Yes. So they're expensive. And
she told me, but Keith's sister, you know, we can sign for her. I get a lot of ideas from her because his sister, she's a little bit younger and she's real trendy. And she's the kind of girl that consistently shops and refreshes her wardrobe. Mm-hmm. And she gives us her old stuff and we give her half of what the profit is. And I get a lot of ideas from her because Alicia brings me clothes like those Trip pants and these things that are real trendy that I didn't know about, that the younger crowd, like the millennials like her, are into and wearing right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm still learning. I bet you
And
5 years from now, I'll still be learning.
Yep. And so this second part of your video about social media, you always learn, like, if you're interacting, there are people that post inside of not just my big group, but inside of the VIP and inside of, the other groups and whatnot. People will post pictures of stuff that that they sold. Like somebody might find a New York City pair of pants and sell for $45. It was me. I'm like, dude, look at these pants. Like, oh my God, I paid $2 for them. I didn't even know they existed. And that social media posting, I'm sure a lot of people here are on Instagram. You go out and see people post, their finds, their tags, or their hauls, or what have you on Instagram with the pictures, rather than videos, which a lot of people like because it's quick to flip through them. And that's a way to make a list. And that's what I've done. I literally stalk, and I'm not doing it to stalk people, but that's how I learn stuff. And I always look for people that are like, big sellers, of course, because they know what to buy and sell, but little sellers that are obscure and may not be, YouTubers or bigger. Yeah. They have the most unique stuff. And I'm like, look at this, look at that. Oh my goodness, look at this. I had a guy send me a store last week, and I kid you not, he has like 900 active listings, and he sells little teeny tiny, nothing he sells is bigger than like 1 ounce. It's like little Lego figures and toy action figures and Polly Pockets. 900 listings of these. Last month, he did $11,000 in sales.
Wow.
Yep.
Speaking of stalking people, I'll bring up Megan Mawini again. When I was brand new, I was too afraid of pants and things that weighed a lot for a long time because I didn't know about the padded flats. Once I learned about the padded flats, I knew I could get jeans for 99 cents. I started stalking her store, and this was long before she and I were friends. She didn't even know who I was. I felt kind of like a creeper. So I approached her one day and I said, I'm sorry, but I stalk your store to get ideas of brands and prices. And that was, yeah. Now we're like really good friends. That struck a friendship. Not often that stalking someone leads to a friendship, but I do. I still use her store, honestly.
I do.
I don't comp, here you guys, I'll tell you a secret. I don't comp my jeans anymore unless they're a new to me brand. When I sell jeans, I comp them off myself. I start all my silver jeans at 40 or 50, and I know what styles start at 40 and what starts at 50. I don't care what anyone else is doing. You guys know I like to price high, and I have what I want to do. But if it's a new to me brand, I actually go to Megan's store and see if she has it before I search all of eBay, and then I'll put it up for whatever Megan's selling it for.
Wow, really? Well, you know what's really good about Megan, especially back in the day, and I haven't done the math on it lately, but she had a really good sell-through rate on her pants. Like all of her business pants, her jeans, they had a really good sell-through rate. I know when she got really high in listings, it kind of slipped a little bit, but when you have a good sell-through rate too, that means she's pricing them correctly. So that's a good point. I used to do that too with a couple things. I used to look at other people because there was a couple items that I sold regularly and I always saw the same competition. So I'd always check what they were selling them for.
Yeah. I mean, Megan is known for pricing high, but she has a good sell-through rate.
She gets it. Yeah. Because she knows, well, most of hers is like a good eye for like unique, was that express pink leather jeans that she got, or leather pants, whatever. She always goes for the odd stuff, which is another great thing with like, and I'm going to be putting this together too to update these. Anybody that picks up the BOLO list, I'm going to be doing an updated version of them, and anybody that buys them will get the free updated one. It'll automatically email you when I update the file. But it's going to be like all the unique stuff. Like anybody can buy express jeans, whatever, they might sell for $15-20, but if you buy pink ones or green ones or colored or leather, they sell for 40, for 50. So I really wanted to put together like a unique list of like, hey, we all know this brand, we all know American Eagle, we all know Aeropostale, we all know whatever, or Guess or Express, but what is the unique stuff in that brand that sells? So the way that I did it, and this is something that anyone can do, search the brand, sort it by highest to lowest that's sold, and scroll down the highest price items. This is one of my secrets, so I'm giving it away, but sort by the highest price one. Sometimes you'll see like an $8,000 pair of pants, it's fake, whatever. But when you get into a reasonable, normal human pricing, look at the ones when all the jeans are $20 that are selling for 50, for 60, for 70. You'll see why they sell that high, and you can come up with a good idea like, whoa, look, anything colored expressed with a weird color sells amazing. Anything leather sells amazing. So always try to do that.
Thank you for the super chat, Red Neckerson's resales.
164. What is that, like his random number? He had to hand type that. 164.
164. And I want to say hi to Wade and everyone that came over from Wade's show that Wade sent over here that's new to the channel.
Jason.
Welcome in. Thank you for coming in and giving me a chance. Most of you have never heard of me until Wade sent you. And or you've heard of Casey. Maybe Casey brought some people. Thank you, Wade and Casey, for bringing new peeps. And Jason, yeah, for posting the link. So I guess we got off on a tangent. We should talk about social media.
Right. Yeah. So the social media start that we did was learning brands from other people. So for me, there's 3 ways to use social media to your advantage. So you can use social media to network with other people who can help you learn brands. They can help you price. You can bounce ideas off of them. How many times have we been in the store and we recognize like maybe a name or a logo and we're like, hey, I know what that is. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't find it out. And you can shoot it out to your social media, to your following. And I mean, within minutes, you can get an answer. So number 1 is the networking side of social media. There's been many, many times where I recognize something and it'll be in the store for like $4 or $5 and I'm just not sure, you know, like you said, you can't always look up a comp because you don't have service or whatever. But when I step outside, I might, you know, I've posted 100 times where I'm like, hey, this shirt is inside of, you know, Salvation Army for $5. Should I get it? People just respond back. So the networking side is amazing. Obviously, you need a big following to have people help you out with that. And then also sharing ideas of brands, or, you know, your followers will find cool brands and post it and say, hey, Casey, hey, Star, look what I found today. And then you immediately add that to your list because you might find it. The second way to use social media as important is once you find all this stuff and you buy it, a lot of people might be interested in what you're buying. They might love it. They might see you all the time. They might follow you just because you're always buying cool Star Wars shirts. Yes, go me, go me, go me. And so whenever you find those Star Wars shirts and you post that, it's like, hey, look at this great haul that I got today. Look at this amazing shirt that I got today. It's Chewbacca riding a unicorn. One of your followers might be in love with it and immediately say, hey, don't bother listing it. If you're going to sell for $20, I'll take it.
Yeah, I've had offers on plush before just because I showed them in a haul video or a picture of them on Insta. Like a lot of times I put my plush in the trunk and take a picture of them before they come home. And I'll get offers before I'm even home from my Instagram followers. I see Scooby-Doo. I see a gremlin. I see Pooh.
Right. Yeah. So,
and then I can cut them a deal because we're cutting eBay and their fees out of the picture.
A lot of your followers on Instagram, Facebook, all social media, they're not just other sellers. Like I know a lot of people get this little, this thought process of Poshmark, like, oh, it's just sellers following sellers, but there are a ton of buyers and even sellers collect stuff. I collect certain things. I don't really make it public because, well, besides one of them, but I collect other stuff that other people offer me and I buy it. Robert Graham. I
collect stuff too. Can you guess what it is?
I can pretty much guess what it is. But Robert, everyone knows that I'm like a huge Robert Graham fan. And anytime, you know, people get shirts, half of my Robert Graham collection has come off of social media. People are like, hey, look at this sweet shirt I picked up today. Yeah, I could have added one to that collection, but, you know, they didn't exactly come in my size. So, you know, that's one thing. A lot of sellers buy and sell stuff that you might pick up. So having a following is helpful to sales. It's just that, you know, and even if they don't collect something, they might just post up a cool dress. Somebody's going to a cocktail party and you post a cool dress. They're like, oh my God, I got to have that dress. So you have to keep an eye out for people on your list, people in your circles, people that love stuff, and just always post up what you find. You never know who might buy it, and it could literally sell in a minute rather than taking months to sell on eBay.
Right. And so sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I had a thought. Later on, when you guys have some time, if you want, I do have a video on how to sell on Instagram. If you use the hashtags right, it doesn't matter even if all your followers are sellers. If you're using your hashtags right, and that video goes in how to use them, you're going to target the correct people for what you're trying to sell.
Right. And so that's actually, glad you said that right then. That's the third part of social media that a lot of people don't realize. They think that you have to have a following, and a following's great. The bigger the following, of course, people will get, you know, the chance of buying it or sharing it. But on Instagram, especially, it works the same on Twitter. Facebook's a little different, but on Instagram, mainly, whatever you tag, if anyone searches for that tag. So a lot of people don't understand how tags and Instagram and things work. And the video that Star has will show you that in depth. But long story short, if I buy a pair of Gucci shoes at the thrift store and they're amazing, and I put a picture of them on Instagram and I say, hey, look at these awesome Gucci shoes I found today. And I write that as my caption. Look at these awesome Gucci shoes I found today. Hashtag Gucci. Anybody that looks up the word Gucci as a tag on Instagram will find your post. As they're scrolling, every single picture that used that tag Gucci will show your picture at some point. Whether, you know, it used to be done chronologically. It's not done that way anymore. But at some point they will find your post. Now, also, if you did like hashtag designer shoes, somebody could search the word designer shoes, or, you can use up to 30 tags per post, I think. And so that's a way for you to find people that are outside of your following and outside of your circle. And that's the third way that you have to take advantage of social media. There are people that I know that don't even sell on eBay and Amazon. They sell directly through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They have fairly big followings. They have Facebook groups. They have, lots of hashtags. They go out to a haul and they buy 20 or 30 items. And so at 1 o'clock, they post a picture of an item. And at 2 o'clock, an item. And at 3 o'clock, an item. And all day, over each hour, they post up one item. And by the end of the day, they've sold 4 or 5 of them. So
yeah, I mean, social media is important.
Yes,
for so many reasons.
My social media is important. Not just, everyone thinks, oh, do I get paid for followers or likes or none of the above. My entire thing about networking and selling products is I'm pushing people to my store because you guys might be interested in what I bought. Some of you might like plush hippos or, well, if you do, don't go to Star Store. She's not selling them to you, but, you might be interested in Star Wars shirts. You might be interested in plush Disney stuff that Star gets. And you might not even know that you're interested, but as soon as you see her post a cool picture, you're like, oh my God, that's awesome. I got to have it.
Hey, thanks for the super chat, Justin.
RVA Flips.
I saw you. You have a wrench. You don't have to give me money for me to notice you.
Oh.
But hi, Justin. Thank you for coming in. I know it's really super late for you.
Low key RVA. Yeah. So how important is social media? Ridiculous. A lot of people write off. I'm going to tell you this right away. I have a lot of people who write off social media and they're like, oh, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. It doesn't have that much of an impact. I'm telling you, if you use it daily, it absolutely does. I have sold hundreds of items through social media quickly.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 11.
Yeah, it's my life, not just because I'm on YouTube. Even if I wasn't on YouTube, you don't have to be a YouTuber to use social media. You can use it to sell your items. There are tons of people not on social media. Who is, you guys might know Steph. She was at eBay Open 2 years ago. She sells a lot of designer, thrifty, she sells like Louis Vuitton and all that. She buys and sells and flips it all on Instagram. She's on YouTube, but she doesn't really make that many videos. She used to make a few, but she uses the entire platform to buy and sell her stuff. We were in Vegas. This wasn't this past year, but 2 years ago. And she bought an item in Vegas on somebody she met on Instagram. She bought it at like noon for like, say, $300, whatever it was. It was like a wallet or a clutch or something. She put it back out on Instagram, the same platform, the same day, within 30 minutes. She had a buyer buy dinner.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and she sold it for like $450.
And additionally, I would like to add, because this is something I talk about a lot on this channel, social media is also important because a lot of resellers tend to be reclusive. We're isolated at home all day. We don't go to an office. We don't have coworkers. And it's an important way to connect with other people who do the same thing as you, because sometimes your family and your friends in life don't understand reselling. It's an important way to make friends and connect with people who understand how you feel, where you're coming from, what you do. And it's like you can have a water cooler, but without going to an office. So I think it's important for like your own mental health as well as a reseller. Right.
That's a good point. There are a lot of resellers that don't like to do a lot of stuff in person, and social media is kind of their escape. And if you can build it, if you're reclusive, if you're kind of an introvert, and you can build an audience and you're okay with doing it behind a computer or a phone screen, take advantage of that, because you can buy and sell without meeting people. You don't have to meet people locally. Steph did the local meetup in Vegas, but she buys and sells stuff all the time, and people just send her she sends them a PayPal invoice. They pay it. She prints a shipping label. She never talks to them. She never meets them. It's just like an eBay transaction, just using a PayPal invoice.
Yeah. So. And if you're comfortable typing to people, I mean, I just think social media is invaluable. And then on the other side of the coin, it can be a time waster. So you have to be careful. And that's the other thing I talk about a lot is timers, and rewarding yourself. So if you list, your goal is to list 10 things, set a timer, get on Facebook for 15 minutes and fart around with your friends, and then do another task. But you have to be careful. You have to have time management.
Time management.
I'm actually doing a live video tomorrow. Schedule your bullet journal with me, kind of thing. Ooh. So we'll talk more about that then.
I have talked to Star last week about some things about time management and organization. And I'll tell you what, this is one thing. Like, again, I pay people if I need help with something, and I'll be the first to admit that I am the worst time management, worst organized, worst everything people. And I would literally pay for a plane ticket to fly to Star to like learn for a week just because I'm terrible at it. So if she's got a show coming up, I guess I'm going to have to schedule some time to watch this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what time it will go live because the one thing I haven't managed to take control of is my sleeping patterns, but I don't have to. I've been struggling with that for like 2 years, ever since I got injured.
It's a tough thing when you don't have to be somewhere or do something. You will get lost. You know, you'll start off social media with the intent of being all about business. Like, hey, I'm going to jump on Instagram and list 10 items, you know, in my photo gallery here and tag a bunch of people and share it all out. And then all of a sudden you start scrolling through people's stuff. So make sure when you do get on social media that you stick to business. And like Star said, kind of set a timer or set something to, if you have an iPhone, they have the new screen time thing that you can see how much time you spend on each app. And then, you know, once you get it all done, then give yourself some free time to spend on it. So, Casey, doing better descriptions has helped tremendously. I would say descriptions, well, 72%, was it 72% of all eBay sales are now mobile? Well, it was 62% last year. They're talking about 70% this year. So I would say most of the mobile people scrolling don't take the time to read as much into like the other stuff as like the item specifics as they do descriptions. So I think that helps a lot. Mary says that Star would beat me into working a schedule. Pretty good chance of that. So
I'm really good with time management. I'm not so much. Here's the thing: do as I do and not as I say, right? Or do as I say and not as I do. Yeah. I can help other people all day long. I could give you bullet journals and I could give you tips and tricks and get you on the right track. But I have a hard time doing it for myself. Mm-hmm. That's just me being frankly honest. I do follow my bullet journal, but I'm not as strict as I would like to tell other people to be. I guess I think I'm a better teacher than a doer.
I agree. You have to use social media and you have to learn these brands and spend your time, but you can't get off on like following people's dogs and do it. You have to stick to the plan and you have to stick to business. And social media, as important as it is, can be so distracting when cute little dogs run across your screen. So
and cats and hamsters
and squirrel.
Well, everybody knows that I have pet hamsters, and as much as I love hippos, I love hamsters just as much. And I have 2 pet hamsters, and everybody that knows me tags me all the time on these Facebook posts.
Oh my God.
Cute little hamsters eating food and doing things, and I could really get sucked into that time vortex. So I do set timers. So when it goes off, my break is over, and I have to stop looking at all these hamsters.
Yep. I have to stop watching cat videos. Yes.
Yeah, Trey, if I have to stop watching hammy videos.
You want to know what the worst thing I get caught in watching? I've told people this all the time. I watch the First Amendment auditors that film on public property, like in courthouses and FBI buildings. And it's perfectly legal, but it turns out that most cops don't know that you're allowed to film inside the post office and courthouses and FBI buildings. So of course they immediately show up and try to arrest the guy for filming. And then they find out that it's legal and they actually get sued, or they have to let the guy go and publicly apologize. I could watch those for hours. So, and all those people that are in those things, I've commented and donated to their channels and all that, and they all tag me and I follow them. So I get the notifications. So if you're going to decide to go the social media route, I highly recommend turning off your notifications for anything not eBay business related. If it's cats or hamsters, turn it off. And when you have free time allowed during your schedule or your bullet journaled schedule, then go watch them voluntarily. Do not have them come up in your face.
Well, even a lot of the reseller groups, I actually on Facebook have turned off the notifications because even though it's reseller related, it's still distracting. I still get in there and start reading, and then I was supposed to be listing. So I have segmented times in the day that I have set aside. This is my 15 minutes to check Facebook groups. This is my 15 minutes to talk to friends. This is my 15 minutes for hamsters or Fiona. If you guys have free time, look up Fiona the hippo on
my
YouTube.
God. Is this serious? I'm now YouTube searching Fiona. But yes.
At a zoo, and the humans had to raise her, and she is just so cute.
She has a fart video. Good grief. So the thing about social media too is as much as I've wasted the time on there, I've also spent a lot of time going down like kind of the rabbit hole of all the sellers and all the different, not just like eBay and Amazon and Etsy and Posh. Like I look up dumpster divers and trash pickers and all this crazy stuff that you wouldn't think of. One of the old OGs of selling was called Redneck Picker. Guy was so original. I wish he wouldn't have left YouTube, but he was amazing. And I learned so much from him. So take the time to learn, but make sure you're spending it wisely. And if you need help with any of the social media, if you need to learn how to create a YouTube channel, create Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or even your email list. Remember, if you've got a huge following that all love Robert Grahams and you're out searching Robert Grahams, you should keep an email list of those 100 people that follow you. And every time you pick up a Robert Graham, shoot them an email and say, hey guys, if anybody's interested in this medium Robert Graham, guarantee you'll sell it. I have an entire email list of people that just love dresses. They're all women that are like, hey, if you come across Lily Pulitzer, you come across, really cute dresses or cocktail or little black dresses, please let me know. And so I send it out. I've got that in my email list categorized as dress people. And there's like 150 of them. So anytime we get a cute dress, we just send it out in an email first. And somebody always loves it. It's like, I'll take it. I'll give you the $25 for it. So those are all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and email marketing that you should be implementing with any business, whether it's reselling or whether you're a plumber. It doesn't matter. And so I made 27 little videos about this. Some of them are 3 or 4 minutes. Some of them are like 15 minutes. And I put it together. It's going to teach you all those platforms start to finish, how to start the account, how to customize the account, how to build the account, how to get followers, how to make good content, how to do all of that stuff from top to bottom. 27 videos. It's like 2.5 hours of videos. So you'll have to spend the time to watch them, but it's well worth it because you can go back and watch them anytime. And all 27 videos are private. They're not available to anybody. No one can see them except you. When you purchase them, you'll get an email with all 27 links. And so you can open each video up as you want at your leisure. And it's less than $1 a video. It's $25 for all 27. Think about if you bought one of those videos for $1, how to sell on Twitter or how to sell on Instagram. $1 for that video. You're paying 25 for 27, less than $1. So if social media is in your cards for 2019, you should think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's invaluable for so many different reasons. And Instagram is really, I think, the most important nowadays, the most relevant. And it's a newer one to a lot of us, even me. Mm-hmm. Like when Instagram first came out, I was like, I want nothing to do with that. I'm a dinosaur. I'm still learning every day, but this will teach you Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as well, right?
Yeah, Twitter as well. Twitter's probably the lower end. Instagram's the top. Facebook is the old. Yeah, Facebook's the old workhorse.
Yeah, Twitter's like for news, but people still use Twitter to sell on and do well. So
they do. So Twitter's kind of like a live, just like you said, like a live what's going on feed. But it's still a really good platform because it still gets like 100 million hits an hour or some stupid number. So there's no reason not to use it, but it definitely is at the bottom. The reason I mainly use Twitter is because you can auto post to Instagram. So when you send something to Instagram, you can have it automatically send it to Twitter without having to do twice the work.
I was going to say, and Facebook, if you have a Facebook business page.
Yeah, if you have a Facebook business page, which I recommend you creating as well, it will also auto send to that. So I put Instagram at top. I put Facebook as the old workhorse straight under Instagram, which isn't a surprise because Facebook owns Instagram, for anyone who didn't know that. And so the two most important parts of Facebook are, of course, having a Facebook business page and then also being active in Facebook groups. Where else can you learn than groups that you should be a part of? And then underneath of all that, I kind of put kind of a match of like people use like email marketing or blogs like blogger.com or Tumblr or things like that kind of underneath that. And then Twitter kind of at the bottom. That's kind of the bottom of the tube. Now YouTube is on that social media. YouTube is its own thing as a video platform. If I had to put it in importance, I would put YouTube probably up near the top. But YouTube is kind of its own little video platform thing. That takes a whole nother, level of person that wants to get in front of the camera. Not everyone can do that. What is interesting is if you're not a camera person, there's a new app. This isn't a part of my social media guides. And actually, if you buy the social media guides, I think I'm going to go ahead and update them and add a section to it. It'll be free if you've already bought them. They're linked below, by the way, if you want to grab those 27 videos. I'm going to grab a part about podcasting. This is something I really want Star and Keith to get into. If you guys aren't familiar with Keith too much, he's not really a get in front of the camera type of guy. But he's super smart. Like he's so intelligent. It's crazy. I think Keith would do really good on podcasting.
I don't know. I'll talk to him about it. He's just not really good at the spoken word, and he doesn't. To him, speaking to people is just as bad as being on camera to people.
No,
he's
but
really good with the written word, though. He like has a really good way of being logical and getting what he means out, and he uses big words and he sounds all smart. But he is really good.
Sounds smart. He is smart. What are you kidding me? So no, but see, so
he doesn't just sound smart. He is smart. He's the most. He's kind of like
so
Sheldon, a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about Keith. Like, he's got so much stuff going on. He's kind of like me in a lot of ways. He's got so much going on up in here. He just has to find a way to like put it all out, like not in like a discombobbled mess, because it's all incredible. You just have to get it. Like me, I have all this stuff, and I'll go like from reselling to Coke cans to airplanes, squirrel. So that's me. Keith is like, I would put him like 8 levels higher than me as far as like pure intelligence. So he's a genius. And podcasting is great because you can record it. And I think podcasting is going to be even bigger in 2019. There's an awesome app. I don't know if I told you about this, Star. It's called Anchor. It's completely free. Anybody who doesn't have the app, download an app called Anchor. It will allow you to record audio right on your phone. You literally just set your phone down, hit the button, and you can record audio. Now, you can record it and edit it later. You can just use the raw audio. You can make a podcast with one click of the button, record the audio, stop it when you're done, create a picture as a thumbnail, like as a little promotional thumbnail, and hit post. It will post it not only to the Anchor app that everyone can listen to, it auto posts it to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and like 2 other ones. Your podcast will be available to 150 million people within a matter of minutes. And if you have something interesting, if you know a lot about jewelry or about video games or about reselling, you could literally get it out. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I love talking about it, but I don't like my face to be on video. If you're okay with audio, you could start a podcasting channel, podcasting series in a matter of minutes. Literally, the Anchor app is amazing. I'm not being paid by Anchor. It's not sponsored. I just love it to death. And I'm going to add that to my social media course and my videos for everyone to have. So if you buy the social media course using the link below, the 27 videos, you're going to get those. And I'm going to update a 28th or 29th video to add to it. So you won't have to pay any extra. As soon as I add them, it'll automatically be emailed to you. So
yeah, that's the other great thing about buying Casey's BOLO lists and his social media. When he updates them, you get notified and you get the updates.
Yep, automatically email. Yeah, either of those lists. Yeah, either of those below, you'll get those updates.
Yep. So if he raises the price later on because he's including more and spending more time on them, you're kind of like grandfathered in.
You're covered. Yep. 100% covered. Yeah. So
the links below take you to the big old package with everything. And in the description box, I have exactly what it includes. So you can see exactly what you're getting for your money. And then the social media package is just 27 videos.
Yep. I see a lot of, so I want to ask this, I'm going to put Star on the spot with this one. So when we're talking about social media, a lot of people ask about YouTube. So you guys have been, how long do you think you've been regularly posting? Like maybe 6-8 months?
A year.
A year? Well, you started last year. You started right after the turn of the year. Did you post like maybe 1 video, 2 videos a week at the beginning?
No, it's pretty steady, at least every other day from the beginning.
You would post. God, it doesn't seem like it's been.
Do you remember when I used to record them all in one day?
Oh, that's right. That's right. So yeah, you did. You recorded like 4 videos on Monday or whatever.
Yeah, I would record like on Saturdays. I would record like 4 or 5 and then put them out throughout the week. But I've always been pretty good at. I'm still not every day. That's like my goal for 2019 because I think it's because I'm a girl. If I could like get out of bed and not have to wear makeup and put a baseball cap on, I could just get on. But there's days where I'm just like dragging my feet and I'm like, I don't want to put makeup on. And that's why I used to record them all in one day. But that worked in the beginning when I was newer to it, but I like to do them daily now because relevant things come up. And
yeah, things change every day. I find out stuff. I get emails and messages. You probably start getting them, like where people message you asking about stuff or how things change or what have you.
Yeah, most of my video ideas come from the YouTube comments from my viewers.
Yeah,
and from the Facebook groups. Honestly,
that's a great thing. Yeah, leave if you ever do watch Star's channel, comment below. Ideas. If there's something you want to know about or a question you have, you can always ask her. And a lot of I would say at least a third of my videos, 33% of my videos go from YouTube comments or emails or messages where people are like, tonight's video, I posted a video tonight. Anybody who doesn't know, by the way, you don't have to watch my video, but I'm just telling you, eBay invoices were messed up. Fees were being overcharged for like insertion fees and whatnot. Check your eBay invoices, people. But I did a video tonight because somebody sent me their screenshot. They had a premium store, 10-cent listings. They went over their listings. They were being charged 25 cents for every listing. And they had to call eBay 3 times they lost like $200. And so that video came from my viewer. My account wasn't messed up. My invoice looked okay. Mm-hmm. But because my viewers had invoices that were messed up, I'm like, hey, I got to let people know. And so that's where some of our videos, I don't think people realize how important our viewers and our subscribers are to us and their comments and interacting with our channels. Like, I don't think they realize just how much they think, oh, you're just making YouTube videos, whatever. But no, like we legitimately, at least me, I read everything. I
respond to every comment still.
God, I wish I could. I make it a point to sit and respond for hours, but I still fall short of responding to every comment.
Now, there is an asterisk to that. There's been a couple videos I had that went out that got a lot more attention than I expected and a lot more comments. And some of them were looking for a debate or argumentative. Those videos, I just approve the comments that are okay and let them go through, and I don't engage or respond. Just because there's so many. Like example, the 0% seller protection, and
some of them, a lot of comments. I
don't want to use the word, they didn't go viral, but they went big, and I didn't expect it. And there's just so many comments in there that are looking for me to argue with them, and I don't get it. So I'll let your opinion be heard and I'll let it be read, but I'm not engaging.
Right.
But on normal videos, I do respond to every single comment that I let through. I have a couple of haters and turds that are pretty mean, but well, you saw some of those in Florida. I let you read them, and
I did. I'll tell you what, I do the same. I'll respond to a comment or a thread like once or twice, and I'll put out what I think, and I'll let everyone else put out. But there's no way that I have time to go back and forth on a thread. Like, I had one thread, and I know exactly what it was about, and I'm not mentioning it because of the topic, but I had one thread where I responded to a guy like 2 or 3 times. I went back and forth with him, and he had a couple other people responding. I think I fell asleep or just left it at that late at night one time. I woke up the next morning, and the comment thread went from like 31 comments to literally 450 comments. I was like, thank God that I didn't keep responding.
Wow.
No way. Yeah, it was one of the biggest threads.
I'm not looking for a debate.
No.
I appreciate that other people have different opinions than me, and I will absolutely, if you put them in a respectful manner and you're not a turd, I will approve them and let them through and let everyone else read them. And I appreciate that you have a different opinion than me, but like you said, I just don't have time to debate.
No.
I don't.
I wonder
so much going on.
I wonder if that's trademark. Don't be a turd. You should make some merch with that. I'm not even kidding.
I should. And I should have like a little hippo with a turd
coming out. Yeah, don't be a turd.
Don't be a turd.
The $1 million ideas I come up with at 9:50 in the middle of the evening. No, but that's the thing about social media too, and everyone I think kind of realizes that if you have to have thick skin. There's people behind a keyboard and a screen. If you're going to go the social media route, just ignore those people. Read what they have to say, respond, and then just let it go. If they get into being a turd, just let them be a turd.
Or there's a bunch. Don't approve it.
Just don't approve it. Yeah, you can always have all your comments held on YouTube. You can delete stuff on any platform, and they're out of your life. You can block them, and it's done. A lot of people like to get into those back and forth contests. I never understand it. I'm like, just ignore them. It's that easy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm here to help people. I'm here to teach people. So I'm going to engage with people who are engaging in a positive way, that are contributing to the content on the channel. I'm not here to be a troll or fight with people, and that's not going to pay my bills, and that's not going to make me happy. So I like to tell people, if you aren't contributing to my life in a positive way, there's the door.
Yep.
Bye.
Reselling the recovery says he's a turd.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
I just don't have time for people who,
no.
I don't understand. They have that time either. I've said it before on this channel. I feel sorry for them, because I can't imagine having so much free time in my life that I lash on to someone I hate, turn the notification bell on, and go to every video to dislike it and say rude stuff. Like, who has that kind of time?
Bill Penny asked if I'm doing a Pennsylvania meetup in the first quarter. I don't know. I think he's trying to bait me into coming to Pennsylvania.
Well, I am having one in May.
Okay. So Star's having one.
You're supposed to come. We're going to Burgatory.
Okay. The problem with coming in May is that it's cold still.
It is not cold in May here.
Is it over 50 degrees?
Yes.
Is it over 60 degrees?
Yes.
Is it over 70?
Yes.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. My son's birthday and my birthday are Mother's Day weekend. And when he was small, we used to always have his birthday parties outside.
So I got to buy a Pennsylvania plane ticket.
Yeah. So I still have to plan that out.
Pennsylvania plane tickets are cheap because no one wants to go there.
You're coming to like the city that has 3.
Oh wait, that would make plane tickets expensive because I'd be the only one on the plane and I'd have to cover the entire trip.
You're coming to where the Steelers and the Penguins and
you realize that I wear Ravens gear, right? I can't come to Pittsburgh.
Hey, I think that's what Dave and Bill were wearing when we went out sourcing was Ravens gear.
Oh, good Lord. That's dangerous. No, but yeah, so in just our warning though, back to what you're saying, if you go on social media, just don't take everything with a grain of salt, have thick skin, ignore people if you have to, don't entertain turds and trolls, and use social media for business. Use it intelligently. Don't go off watching cats and hippos all day. Do that as your free time, your reward, and social media will help you grow. You know, whether you get my videos or not, it's fine. If you do, awesome, thank you. If you don't, then just make sure you spend more time advertising and promoting your brand and your products and your stuff, and let people know when you buy something cool, and share people's stuff and tag people and follow people and really use it. You don't have to spend 12 hours a day. You literally can spend an hour a day sharing on different platforms, tagging throughout the day. Literally just sit down, 10 minutes, boom, 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 boom. Be done with it. A few hours later, lunchtime, sit back down, do a couple things, 10, 15 minutes. Then at dinner time, couple things. Before you go to sleep, couple things, 10, 15 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day. Bam, you've only spent 1 hour in the whole day sharing your stuff on Instagram, making a YouTube video, maybe sharing stuff on Facebook, entertaining the group, whatever you have to do. And you will see an increase. You'll see your sales go up from people that are like, hey, I just bought your shirt. I love that so much when somebody messaged me on Facebook. Hey, I just saw that amazing Donald Trump tie and I bought it. And I probably shouldn't have said that. I saw that amazing Star Wars shirt and I bought it. So
you're fine. I mean, I sell Donald Trump stuff all day long. I don't let any of my own opinions or anybody else's opinions interfere with.
I literally just pulled that one out of nowhere. I didn't even think.
Yeah, but I'm too greedy. I've told people before I will sell a Donald Trump tie in my store next to a Hillary book. I don't care.
Yeah.
I like money.
I will too.
I like money.
And I hate, everyone's like, oh yeah, because I've had people accuse me of being a Donald Trump lover and a Donald Trump hater, and I'm like, I hate politicians. If you want to get down to it, I don't like any of them. So
I just like money.
I just like money, and I don't like politicians at all. Like everyone's like, oh, if you don't vote, you don't have a say. I do vote, but I still don't like any of them. Just
yeah. So. I want to answer Mark Warren's question. Should you use a separate account for your social media? And I would say absolutely, because branding is so very important. Yep. If you ever have the time to look across all of ours, we are at Flippin' Hippos on every social media platform, and our eBay store is The Hippo Hut, and I use the same logo everywhere because branding is important. You want the same name, the same look, all your stores to match. My Posh Closet matches because you want people at one glance to know who you are. Like when you see this, you know who they are.
Yep. So there's 3 reasons. So reason 1 is you want to be recognized. Boom, what she just said. Everyone recognizes the logo. Number 2 is because anytime anyone goes looking for you, wherever they go looking for you, they're going to immediately they're going to try whatever the first thing they saw was. So like if your main name is Flippin' Hippos and then over on your Instagram account, it's called Blue Hippopotamus, they're not going to find you because they're going to look up Flippin' Hippos. They're not going to look up Blue Hippopotamus. They have no idea that exists. So 2 is consistency. It's recognizability, consistency. And number 3 is because when you create all of the platforms all in the same name, it helps with Google SEO. So the Google search, when you search for Flippin' Hippos, will show all of them back to back to back to back. If they have different ones, they may not fall in the same section. So when somebody looks you up, it won't show all of theirs. They may only find one thing, if they even find that. So it's recognizability, consistency, and Google SEO is 3 reasons to have your same business name on everything. Now, all of mine are the same. My Instagram, my Twitter, my YouTube, and my Facebook business page are all Rockstarflipper. The only thing you'll see different is my personal page. I do have a personal Facebook page. If you guys invite me as a friend, I do accept everyone. The one thing I will tell you that I do on my personal page is that I don't turn on notifications for anything because it would just get out of control because unfortunately I would never have time to read through everyone's child graduating or new beach pictures or whatever. if you really want me to see something, feel free to tag me. That's fine, and I'll look at it. But other than that, yeah, everything is at Rockstarflipper across the board. My Tumblr, everything I own is Rockstarflipper, and then just my personal is my real name, because I got to have a personal one. The only people I turn notifications on my personal are my close personal friends and my family. I see all of Keith's stuff when he posts. I don't really see stars much. I haven't.
So you're saying Keith is a close personal friend, and I'm not.
you're an acquaintance of a affiliated friend.
That hurts.
It's like I have noticed this turned on for Star too. I have to, because she might talk crap about me and I need to know.
Yeah. So Mark said, does he have to start all over? And I would say yes, but it's not as hard as you think. If you have a personal Instagram and a personal Facebook right now with tons of followers or friends, and you're okay with those people knowing what you do for a living and knowing your business name, just send them over. Just make a post and say, hey, it's Mark. I'm starting a new Instagram to brand my business. It's called Pink Cattails or whatever it is. And just send your people over. It actually will behoove you, honestly, because you're not actually starting over or starting from scratch. Many of us started from scratch. We had nobody, nothing. Nobody knew we were resellers. And we had to build up organically. But if you have a huge following already and you're willing to send them over, you're already ahead of the game.
Right. And if you don't have a huge following, then you don't have a whole lot to lose.
Adam, I play video games too.
I try to play video games, but I'm a big, humongous failure in life at video games. Hang on. I was just Googling behoove. I was trying to figure out what that
benefit. Benefit.
Got it. Adding that one to the BOLO list of vocabulary. Yeah, video gaming. Oh, I had a question about this on my channel. I didn't know if anyone here did it. You're talking about branding yourself as your name. So an example would be Casey Neistat, one of my favorite YouTubers. He uses his real name as his brand. But remember, that's his brand. So if you go on like Roman Atwood, you might know who he is, or Jenna Marbles was an OG. She didn't use her actual real name. Her real name is Jenna Moray, but she did Jenna Marbles because her dog's name is Marbles. So she kind of used it. Everyone knows Jenna Marbles is not her real name, but it's her brand. It's her name. She used her name. Casey Neistat is his real name, and that is his brand, Casey Neistat. So if you intend on using your real name as a real brand, a lot of people say they don't want to use it for personal reasons to hide. At the end of the day, if you end up becoming big or noticeable, like for example, me, I'm no Casey Neistat or Jenna Marbles by a long shot, but if I had used my name Casey.Paris as a brand name and I wanted to hide my personal stuff, it's nearly impossible. People will find you. They always will. Most of my stuff is public, so I could have used my name as a brand and grown it. Rockstarflipper was just kind of something that I had way back in the day and it stuck. But there's no way to hide who I am. So that's why I don't mind anyone knowing my personal Facebook. Some people are more private than that. But just remember, if you intend on being a YouTube or social media personality that people get to know, you can never hide it completely. So just take precautions and be careful what you post. So.
See, I'm the opposite of Casey with my personal Facebook. It's locked down. Like, if you're not my friend, you can't even see my cover photo.
Turns out I can't see it.
But I have mine locked. I have reasons too, but I really strive very, very hard to keep my business and personal life separate. Now, of course, it's going to cross over because I've made friends with people like Casey, who's also a reseller. I do have reseller friends, and certain ones of you I will accept as a friend on Facebook. But if you do try to friend me, let me just put this out there, and I ignore it or I decline it. It's nothing personal. It's nothing against you. I try to keep my personal Facebook very small and like only actual friends. Like I want my friends to be friends, not just every reseller and every blogger and every other writer in the world. So don't take it personal. It's just I have reasons for being very private about my private life, and I like to be private and quiet when I'm not being the loud YouTuber or whatever.
Right. So just make sure, make sure when you go that social media route, if you decide to do it, just decide early and quickly what you want to go, like whether you want to use your real name, you don't want to use your real name, whether you want to use a business name, whether you want to be personal and private, whether you want to only accept certain people. Just kind of lay out a plan when you do that, because that is important. It is a question I get a lot about, should I use a different account? Should I separate it? And I always recommend yes, because I know a lot of people have families and kids and things that I don't have. So they have a lot more to worry about than I do. If somebody shows up to my door, which has happened, mind you, one time somebody has shown up to my door, a crazy, and it's a little terrifying. I got to be honest. He didn't do anything, but he just showed up here, and I'm like, "How you doing?" Like, so yeah, be careful about that. But social media is real important. Don't let that scare you off from it. Don't let it frighten you. There's not that many crazies, and especially in our world, everyone's pretty cool. I think mostly. Hello, is Star still here?
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat. Sorry.
Comments. It behooves you to. I have nightmares about her to behooves. What?
Yeah, I am actually a writer before I was a reseller, and that's what my soul is. My soul is a reader, writer, literature lover. But
Griff lost his partner. He was really nice to meet up. Griff's partner lost him as in they broke up, or did he pass on?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Hold on. I actually have Griff as a Facebook friend. Hold on. I now have to look at that. I did not hear of that. Also, a lot of people may have heard, I completely forgot about this, and I'm dropping the ball on this. But he was a member of my VIP group and a member of the big Facebook group, the Thrifter Reseller World, and constantly commenting on my YouTube channel. And I just found out yesterday from his wife, who posted that one of my members and fellow resellers, Curtis Swanger, passed away. I don't know the exact date, but I believe it was just after Christmas or right at Christmas. Super sad. He's 29 years old. He had a medical emergency and passed away. So Curtis and his wife, I don't know if they watch your channel. I'll have to message her. But I was just thinking of them, and I just found that out late last night. So that's it's a tough one, because me and Curtis actually had a conversation in late November. I scrolled back through our messages. November 18th, we talked. So within a month, he passed on at 29 years old. So keep Curtis in your thoughts if you have him. And I know most of you probably didn't know him, but he was on there all the time. He was a big supporter. So those kind of things happen. And when you have a big following and you learn this stuff about people, it happens. So
that's really sad.
Yeah,
so everyone that knew him, I'm really sorry for your loss.
Yeah, Curtis was a constant vocal supporter and a young guy, and really he was, I read back through a lot of our messages that we had over the course of like the last few months and stuff, and he was really he's a hard worker and excited and into stuff, and really asked a lot of questions. And I don't know if he knew if anything was going on, or if there was any signs or whatever, but I would have never known anything. And I guess his wife was able to get into his account, so she put a notice out for everybody. So those are the things that can happen in social media. So thank goodness. It looks like I did just see his name is Howie. Griff's partner, Howie, did pass on. He posted it on December 24th, Christmas Eve. Yep, Griff. I don't know if you guys know Griff. Does everyone know who Griff is? He's the oldest employee at eBay, right? 23 years at eBay. Griff is the voice of eBay Radio. He's on eBay's live show. He retired this year. He actually at eBay Open. Were you there when he did the final thing? The final radio show? Star?
What? Sorry, I was reading.
Oh, were you Griff's partner, Howie did pass away.
Yeah.
Griff is the voice of eBay Radio. He actually retired at eBay Open. I don't know if you saw it, but
no, I didn't. Remember, I was food poisoned and.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we actually saw, it was during one of the conference times or whatever. Griff was doing the last eBay Radio show, which was eBay Open, and they did like a celebration for Griff, 23 years or something at eBay or whatever it was. And so he retired the show and retired or whatever. He was the longest tenured employee at eBay. He's been there longer than anyone. And so he finally retired after whatever, 20 some odd years. eBay's been open for 24 years this year. So he's been there all but like 2 years. And so, yeah, his partner passed on. Howie was his name. I didn't meet him. I met Griff plenty of times, but yeah, another one I just found out about. So a couple of sad, that was Christmas Eve. So yeah, a couple of sad ones. Geez, I hate to end stuff on that note.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat, Adam. I saw that. I appreciate it.
Adam.
I don't want to end on a sad note. So if you guys have any last minute questions, we're already 5 minutes over the hour, but I will take last minute questions for like 5 minutes if Casey's cool with that.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm hanging out. So
we'll answer as much as we can in 5 minutes. How about that?
as long as if you guys have more than that, I'm good to stay. But go ahead, throw them in the chat real quick.
I'd rather not have any plugs in tonight, just because we're really trying to plug Casey stuff. Any other time, I would say yes.
Red Neckerson resales.
Really pushing Casey stuff, guys. Go down and buy it. It's definitely worth it. You can have it on your phone. Like I said, we got it as part of being in the VIP group, but we have it on our phones. And, you know, I'm on here all the time doing haul videos, talking to you guys, showing you bolos, and I still use other resellers' bolos. You can learn, even if you think.
A couple of good questions. What
happens when I go over the hour? Some hippo somewhere loses his wings.
And I turn into a pumpkin.
I'm just kidding. I just try to keep it at an hour because that's the average time of a live show. And I know how valuable in our job area, time is money. It's very valuable. So I try not to take advantage of you guys being here and keep you for too long. But I did hear from Henry that every time I go over an hour, a hippo somewhere, his tail falls off.
Oh God, that's gonna give me a mental. I'm gonna have to create a thumbnail for that, like a hippo losing his tail.
It's like pin the tail on the hippo.
Pin the tail on the hippo. There we go, trademarked.
What percentage of hard goods should be in your store? There's no real answer to that.
No.
Whatever you can find.
Yeah, as much as you can find. Hard goods has a higher risk, higher rate of return, higher fail rate. So I wouldn't recommend loading your store with it, but definitely mix it in. Casey, 2019 reselling goals. So RVA flips, really great question. I mentioned this in one video, but here's what I really want to do. As much as I always open my eyes to everything, I love electronics, I love video games. Back in the day, I used to ship tons and tons of video games to Amazon, and I really miss that. And I really want to ship more stuff into Amazon. A lot of people know my store. A lot of people don't. I don't share it publicly anymore because I had a troll issue. So whoever knows it, but whatever. I went from 2,200 Amazon listings to 800 Amazon listings to 300 now. I really want to crank at Amazon. I love Amazon. There is a lot of downside to it, but there's a lot of upside. So my main goal for 2019 is that I want to fill an Amazon store again and make more money on it. That is my big goal. And my favorite bolo, Ryan, outside of my Robert Grahams, because I keep them, one of my favorite bolos is, that's a good question. What do I like? Okay, I'll give you two. On the clothing side, I really love rare, really unique, hard to find ties. I'm a tie guy. So like a Beatles tie we sold for $50. Had all the Beatles faces on it. It wasn't the blue one that everyone's used to. It was actual Beatles one. I love rare like Hermes ties and the Vineyard Vine. If you can find the one with the pink whale on it, it's worth like $40-$50. I love finding ties because I buy them for like a quarter and sell them for $20, $30, $40 when they're rare. On the non-clothing side, my favorite bolo list item as far as hard goods and electronics go, I love old iPods, really like the shuffles and the nanos and all that are $40, $50. Those are cool. But I also really love police and fire department memorabilia. I love the badges. I love the patches. We sold that big fire truck bell, the fire truck helmets. I almost bought one from a flea market a couple weeks ago. That kind of stuff, really, I love that stuff. I love what they do, and I think it's just cool looking at it. So those are some of my favorite bolos you can keep out. And
some of my favorite bolos for jeans are silver jeans. And believe it or not, BKE men's jeans with the names on them.
Oh my God, they're so hard to find.
Braden, the Drew.
Grayson.
I have like 3 in my store right now, but if you can find the BKE.
I'm wearing a pair right now.
Yeah, they have the names on them. They start at $50.
Yes.
Women's BKE, you're lucky if you can get 20 for, but the men's BKE and silver. And then
look, I'm going to show you. Let me show you guys why Star said that. I'm wearing a pair right now. This is why, and I don't want to show too much, but look, I just bought these from the store because Star and Keith sent me a wonderful Christmas gift so I could go shopping for these. These jeans, they're called Graysons. These are silver Graysons. These were $120 at the store, and that's what they cost brand new, and that's why they're worth use. One, they fit really good. Doesn't it look good? And then they are, without a belt, they fit comfortably as a stretch pair of pants. They will not, when you eat too much and you feel really bad, they don't do that. They are worth
an Instagram model.
I know. I should work on it. Anyways, silver and BKE jeans. I own both of them.
BKE men's, not
BKE
women.
men's. Yes, correct.
Women's, if you can find them for 99 cents, still pick them up because they will go for 25.
Yeah, they'll still sell for 25 or above. Yeah. The BKE men's are $125 jeans without breaking a sweat. Some of them
I sell them for 50. I start them at 50 and I usually take a best offer.
Right.
40,
and so that is minimum. 40 to 50 is like bam. And they are the most comfortable jeans you have ever worn. Guys, if you don't own a pair of silver or BKE men's jeans, please get them.
I have some in my store.
She has some in her store. So
and I'll take a best offer of 40. I want to give a plush bolo real quick.
Okay.
If you can find the 80s and 90s characters plushies. Oh, I got one, but it's in the other room. By Applause. So like my gremlin that had the tag, it's an old tag. I can't, the one I got in the other room, he'll be in my haul video Tuesday. It's Odie from Garfield. But the Applause tag, it's like they wrote one tag and folded it over in half and sewed it on. And it always says the date, 1983, the year, 1982, 1984, whatever year the plush came out. And it's always good. Like the Gremlins was popular back in the 80s and 90s, Garfield and Odie. If you ever find those 80s and 90s characters with that old, just written, it's like a paragraph of text that they folded over and taped on, but you could sewed on, but you can see the year. Buku. Okay. My Gremlin's up for like $75. So
really?
Yes. They're over 30-year-old plushes. So
that's true. Now, can you imagine 30 years old to the 90s? Jesus.
I'm really feeling old anymore. I'm like, I was born in 78. I'm so old.
You don't want me calling out that number on live show.
40.
Landshark Picker says, are your hyenas from Lion King still worth good money?
They're hit or miss. Some of my Lion King plush goes really quick and some is very long tail. Some is worth $12. I just sold a Nala for $25. But she was a bigger one. So kind of hit or miss. I think you're waiting for the right people. With a lot of plush, that's true. With a lot of plush, it's going to be super long tail. You're waiting for that person that is willing to pay for a plush.
Tammy says she graduated in 78.
Oh, wow. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. We're going way over time.
We are. Oops. My bad. Sorry.
Stay tuned for Casey's new career as an Instagram model soon. Coming to an Instagram near you soon. And if you want to, down below, get the guides. These are the best deals he has. The one with the 8 and all the other stuff.
I'll tell you what, I didn't tell Star this, but I'll tell you what, anybody who buys these off of Star's links and uses the down below description, either one of them, it doesn't matter. This weekend, I have some special files I'm going to be uploading that are separate. Everybody who buys one off of this link out of Star's video, I will send all the free updated files to this weekend. They will all be yours free of charge. You'll get them. They're going to have some amazing new bolos and amazing new social media, including, if I can get it done, the podcast one. So if you buy it, I'll send all those for free.
Okay, well, that sounds like a good deal.
Yes.
Let me just get this troll. Okay.
Oh, there was a troll. Damn it.
He's been in here all day.
Jamie,
lose my train of thought, darn troll.
Block Jamie. When are you going to learn?
No. Yeah, so go ahead and get those if you guys want them. You're going to get free stuff, upgraded Casey.
Yes.
I do have to disclose those are affiliate links, so I get some pennies from from a sale as well.
Star helps me get some of you guys those. I am going to toss her some dinero.
I get some pennies.
Yep.
Thank you guys, everyone who came in tonight. I think we actually had the biggest number of people in here. I don't even know where I'm looking. I'm a writer and I can't think of words. We had the highest audience today, so that was really cool.
Awesome.
Thank you to Wade's Ventures for promoting me at the end of his video. Thank you to Casey for coming on. Thank you to everybody who came in here and spent a little over an hour with us. We appreciate it. We know that your time is valuable, but you guys know without you there would not be a Flipping Hippos. Casey, thank you again. Thank you to my mods. you have any words of wisdom you want to leave us with?
Yes, please, everyone. Learn as much as you can, save as much as you can, join social media, learn brands, do everything you can to increase your business in 2019. And, you know, time management, but also spend some time learning, because investing in yourself and your business is the best way to make more money always.
Cool. Before you leave, if you guys would smash the like button, that would be great.
Like buttons.
You can hit the dislike button too, just to let you know. Does the same thing for me. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed all our hungry hippos. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night. I got to walk over and turn it off. So,
okay.
Bye, guys.
See you guys. Good night.
The star is set up.